Good afternoon, all. Welcome to the orientation program of the USCMA course. I now request Dr. Gayatri Ramesh, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, aided, to introduce the speaker.
Education India, who will be speaking to you on the CMA course. A MBA graduate, Mr. Michael has a rich experience in understanding of overall business, financials, products, services, marketplace, and clients. He is a seasoned professional in the field of marketing management, business management and development, and communications management with over 18 years of professional experience in multi category brand development and creating product value, especially across a range of segments. He has also worked in market segments including education, KPO, BPO, and insurance. He has been contributing towards the business growth of Miles Education by bringing to life value propositions in line with the competitive landscapes and have subsequently worked with product teams to boost market capitalization. He has corporate experience with Wells Fargo, Bank of America, etc. Our association with Michael has been for a couple of years now, since the start of the CMA program, and his commitment to the conduct of the course is definitely worth mentioning. We thank you for that and are extremely glad to welcome you. And over to you now, Michael. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much, ma'am, for the very warm introduction about Miles Education and about myself, ma'am. And yes, ma'am, we promise to continue the relationship with Ethiraj College. Uh, Definitely, we will make sure that we work closely with your department just to help the students in enhancing their career. Ma'am, before I go ahead and start about my presentation, I would request anyone to just confirm, am I audible? Is my voice clear?
He is audible to me.
Okay. And ma'am, also request you to please confirm if you're able to see my screen, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. Uh, Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I would like to personally thank you and your entire department, ma'am, for allowing Miles to talk to these prospect students about a professional qualification. So, good afternoon, students, and a very, very warm welcome to all of you for this informative session. Students, I represent an organization which is called as Miles Education. Every organization has a vision and a mission statement. Now, if you ask me, what is the vision and mission of Miles Education? It goes like this: upskill students and make them industry ready. So, students, I would request you to have a pen and paper because there are a lot of things which I'm going to share you about the program. And I'm very sure this 35 minutes session will definitely give you a lot of information about the professional qualification. So, hence, I would request you all to please grab a pen and a paper. And also, at the end of the session, we will make sure that we will try to answer all of your questions. So first thing which I want you to make a note is upskill and industry ready. Write down those two words, students, because my entire presentation for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to use the two words only: upskill and industry ready. Now, I'll be very honest to you, students. First of all, congratulations to everybody that you have got admission in Ethiraj College. I personally believe that's one of the best women's college in Tamil Nadu. Now, BCom is great. There is no doubt about it. Students, again, I'm saying, you got an enrollment in BCom in Ethiraj College. Great, no doubt about it. But today, in this competitive environment, in this competitive world, your BCom degree is just not enough. You need to have some kind of additional qualification. You need to have some kind of professional qualification because at the end of the day, students, how will yourself, how you're going to compare yourself with some other students? The only way of comparing is that by having some kind of professional qualification. And that is the reason I congratulate Gayatri ma'am and the entire department, because college is giving you a platform, students. College is giving you a platform to choose any professional qualification. At the end of the day, students, it is your decision which professional qualification you would like to take it up. I repeat, students, today you have a wonderful opportunity. You can do your BCom. Along with your BCom, you can focus on any other professional qualification. So, what is more important? I'll just give you one example. And today, you know for fact that generally all the companies they come for job placement at semester 6, right? So you see in your own class there are 60 students or maybe there are 50 students. All of you will go for an interview. Just imagine how will you compete yourself with the other student. The only way of competing yourself with the other student is by having some additional qualification along with your BCom degree. So that is the reason today I'm here today. I think I have put the context very clearly. Again, I'm saying, students, BCom is great, no doubt about it. BCom, you getting it from Ethiraj College is another great wow factor, no doubt about it. But you need to have some professional qualification which will make you job ready. And that is the reason today I'm here. I'll just skip. So that is the reason today I'm here to talk about a professional qualification which is called as USCMA. Students, the full form of USCMA is Certified Management Accountant. Uh, Before we go ahead and talk about this program, we will do one thing, students. We will just see what are the other options available for you. But one thing, students, I want to keep you informed. I personally believe all the qualifications are wonderful qualifications. At the end of the day, you need to decide which qualification you would like to take it up. So, my next slide, I'm giving a disclaimer to you. My next slide, I'm going to just show you the various professional qualifications available for you. But at the end of the day, you decide, students, which qualification you would like to take it up. Students, we will not see public accounting because today I'm talking about management accounting because the CMA qualification is all about management accounting. I'll repeat the full form of USCMA. It is Certified Management Accountant. So this is a management accounting qualification. Now, from an Indian standpoint, there's a wonderful qualification which is called as Indian CMA. Earlier, the name was ICWAI. I'm sure everybody's aware of it. But now they have renamed it to Indian CMA. In a simple terms, cost accountant. If you want to be a cost accountant of India, you have to go through those 20 exams. And on an average, it takes 3 to 4 years of time. That's about Indian qualification. Similarly, there's another wonderful qualification from UK, which is called as CMA. Again, I personally believe that's a wonderful qualification, but for that you have to go through 16 exams, and on an average, it takes 2 to 4 years of time. That's about CMA. Now, today, I'm being given an opportunity to talk about a qualification which is called as USCMA, Certified Management Accountant. There are many advantages about this qualification, students. Advantage number one, this qualification can be completed before even you graduate. Which I'm sorry, first of all, this qualification has only 2 exams. I repeat, in order for you to be a qualified CMA, you just need to write 2 exams. Another advantage about this qualification is this is the only qualification I would say which can be completed before even you graduate. Well, that is possible. I'm going to tell you how it is possible. But yes, you can complete this qualification by just writing two exams, and by completing that before even you graduate. So that's the high impact advantage about USCMA. Now, before we go ahead and talk about the program, you need to know that this program, the USCMA program, is being awarded by IMA. The full form of IMA is Institute of Management Accountant. Well, it's a non-profit organization started way back in 1919. So typically, IMA has completed its 100 years of services. Now, there are a few key points about IMA. Right now, IMA has 130,000 members in more than 150 different countries. It has 10 global offices. IMA has their office in India, which is located at Bangalore. Along with that, they work with 300 life chapters. Also, approved partners, there are hundreds of approved partners globally. One key point which I want to highlight to your student is that if you have noticed, there is one point which talks about 130,000 members in more than 150 different countries, which means this qualification, the USCMA qualification, what you get from IMA is a globally recognized qualification, not only in India. This qualification is accepted across 150 different countries. So, in a simple terms, students, this is a globally recognized qualification. Now, moving on to my next slide. Well, what I've done is I just wanted to make it very simple for you to understand the program. I have divided that into three parts. The point number one talks about international credibility. Well, I just told you this is a globally recognized qualification. In a simple terms, it's a global passport for finance and accounting professionals. Now, the question is, I'm sure the parents are listening to me. The question is, are there jobs in multinational companies? Well, the answer is yes. And I'm going to show you a few slides where I'm going to talk about what kind of job opportunities you have as a CMA in India. But the most important part is what are you going to learn? Well, you're going to learn the industry relevant skills. Now, see, this program, you need to understand, students, this program is all about upskilling you and making you job ready. And when I say making you job ready, which means that you need to learn the skills which are required for you to perform your job. And CMA will teach you, will make you industry ready. CMA has only two exam students. Paper 1 or part 1 is called as financial planning, performance and analytics. Paper 2 or part 2 is called as strategic financial management. Remember students, again I'm saying CMA has only two exams. Well, as I've said earlier, you can complete this qualification before even you graduate. And also, you can write the exams anywhere. You can write it from Chennai, from Tamil Nadu, anywhere in India or outside India as well. And the good thing about CMA is you can write the exams whenever you want to write it. Well, I'll explain you about that in my next few slides. But one thing which you need to remember in this slide is uh, what is more important is upskilling you by giving you the right knowledge, what the industry requires, and making you job ready. Well, this is the most important slide. The question is, who are management accountants? What kind of a role they play in an organization? Remember, students, management accountants are the one who has the right skill set. And when I say the right skill set, it's all about planning, budgeting, and forecasting. When we talk about identifying risk, it's all about managing risk, reducing the cost, which is nothing but cost management, improving the performance, which is nothing but performance measurement, decision analysis, and strategic decision making. Remember, as a strong management accountant, you need to have these skills because this is exactly what a management accountant he or she does on a daily basis. And that is the reason CMA will teach you all these skills to make you for you to understand the role of a management accountant and work as a management accountant. So remember students, management accountants are the one who are very strong in planning, managing risk, cost management, performance measurement, decision analysis, strategic decision making. If you have those skills, you are ready for the job. Again, this is just a comparison to tell you what is the role of a management accountant and what is the role of a public accountant. Now, one of the key role of a public accountant is auditing and reporting. Whereas, if you look at what is the role and the scope of management accountant, it's all about what they do inside the organization, designing, implementing, managing, and reporting. So these are the various kind of roles you play inside an organization. Remember, as a management accountant, you are part of decision making process. As a management accountant, you are part of initiatives. As a management accountant, you create value inside the organization. I'll make it very simple, students. Auditor's job is to audit for the last financial year and report it. That's a simple words. What is the job of an auditor? But in a simple terms, what is the job of a management accountant? Not to look what happened last year, but you would be planning for the next financial year. So creating value, increasing the profits for the next financial year. So your job is not to look what happened in the past. Your job is to look what is going to happen in the future. So the good news for you student is CMA is preparing yourself to be a management accountant who look ahead, who plan ahead, who analyze things ahead. So all what you're doing is thinking ahead, not looking what happened in the past. That is the role of a management accountant in every organization. And that is the reason we say management accountant job is value creation. Public accountant job is valuation. Remember the thin line. If you understand the two words, public accounting job and auditor job is to valuation, whereas a management accountant job is to create value. So that is the kind of a role you're going to play in every organization. Interestingly, students, there was a survey done by IMA in order to understand in which area of business a CMA would fit into. Surprisingly, if you are a CMA, you can move into various areas of businesses. I repeat, if you have the knowledge of CMA, you can get into accounting field, you can get into finance field, you can get into operations field, and definitely you can get into a bit of IT field as well. Because CMA will teach you all the four aspects, which is leading for you to grow in the organization. So if you're taking up CMA, you will learn accounts, you will learn finance, you will learn operations, and you will also learn technology and analytics. So in that way, what is going to happen is you're not restricting to one area of business. If you are a CMA, you can move into various areas of businesses. So that's something an important factor what you're going to learn in CMA curriculum. Another interesting fact is that if parents are watching me, in our days, in my days, I would say we used to call coal as a gold mine. Yeah, that was the kind of description which was given to coal. But today, the description have changed. Data is the gold mine. Every organization, Every sector, they have data. Now, when they have data, they need someone who can understand the data and who can make decisions according to the data. And that is the reason what CMA has thought that in their curriculum, in the CMA curriculum, you would learn accounts, you would learn finance, and now you're also going to learn analytics. Typically, students, there are four types of analytics. Descriptive analytics is nothing but what happened. The second type is called as diagnostic analytics. Why did it happen? The moment you get to know what happened, then you need to analyze to know why did it happen. Then the third stage is called as predictive analytics. You know what happened, you know why it happened. The next stage is for you to understand what is going to happen next. And the last stage of analytics is called as prescriptive analytics. How can you make it happen? How can you make decisions with what will happen? So the beauty about this qualification of USCMA is it is going to give you this knowledge of analytics. In a simple terms, it is going to create a analytical mindset for decision making. I repeat, if you learn this subject, analytics, it is going to help you for analytical thinking for decision making. So CMA will have finance, accounts, and the good news, I'm saying again, you would also have analytics in the CMA curriculum. Uh, a very important slide, and I after that also I have two students from Ethiraj College who would like to share their experience. But one thing which I want to talk about is, are there jobs for USCMA in India, in Chennai? The answer is yes. There are ample job opportunities for USCMA in India, but for that you need to pass the two CMA exams. Now, students, today Miles Education has a very strong corporate connections, corporate tie-ups with all of these multinational companies, what you see right now on the screen. Today, we have an active MOU with big four companies like Deloitte, EY, KPMG, PwC. We have FNA companies like Accenture, Genpact, JP Morgan, World Bank, AIG, Synchrony. So, students, today we have 66 MOUs signed up under Fortune 500. We also have we also work closely with 100 plus placement agencies across India. So what I'm trying to tell you in this slide is that if you're able to pass the two CMA exams, Miles is going to help you for job assistance. Students, what is more important is you just need to focus on passing the two CMA exams. I don't know where did we read this, maybe in our 11th and in our 12th standards. Have we learned about demand and supply rule? So there is a lot of demand for USCMA in India. Yes, all you have to do is, if you're having the knowledge, if you're passing the two CMA exams, definitely you have a job in India. You need not go outside India to work as a USCMA. Well, my next slide is only talking. I mean, we are very happy. We are very proud that we have been associated with Ethiraj College for the last 3 years. Yes, to the college, to the other colleges for BCom and BBA students, we teach the USCMA. So, few of the examples. In Chennai, also, we are associated with few of the colleges, few in North. Well, I'm now moving on to the second part of the section, which is called as what are the two CMA exams and what all things you need to know in order for you to write the exams. Remember, students, from the beginning, I'm saying CMA has only two exams. I repeat, CMA, if you're taking up this qualification through Ethiraj College, you just need to write two exams. Exam one is called as, you can call it exam one, you can call it part one. That's called as financial planning, performance, and analytics. Exam two, part two, is called as strategic financial management. Remember, in part one, we are going to teach you 6 industry skills. Remember, in part one, we are going to teach you 6 industry skills. That is external financial reporting, planning, budgeting, and forecasting, performance management, cost management, internal controls, technology, and analytics. So these are the 6 industry skills which we are going to teach you in part 1. But remember, you just need to write one exam, which is called as financial planning, performance, and analytics. Exam 2, part 2, again, there are going to be another 6 industry skills: financial statement analysis, corporate finance, decision analysis, risk management, investment decisions, professional ethics. So these are the other 6 industry skills which we are going to teach you in part 2. Again, remember, you just need to write 2 exams. You just need to write that one exam, that is strategic financial management. Now, when you're writing part 1 exam, remember, it is a 4-hour online exam, 4-hour online exam. In that, you would get 100 MCQs. The full form of MCQs is multiple choice question. I'm very sure everybody knows what is multiple choice question. There is a question given to you and there are 4 choices given to you. You just need to pick up the right answer. Click on the right answer. And then you would get 2 essay questions. Essay questions, self-explanatory. Similarly, in part 2, it is going to be a 4-hour online exam. 100 MCQs and 2 essay questions only. Now, good news, there is no negative marking. So that's first good news, no negative marking. Now, if you're writing a part 1 exam, you need to score a minimum 360 out of 500. So for your part 1 exam, a minimum score is 360 out of 500. Similarly, if you're writing part 2 exam, you need to score 360 out of 500. So 360 minimum in part 1, 360 minimum in part 2. Well, the global pass rate for IMA is greater than 40%. Now, when can you write the exams? Typically, there are 3 testing windows: January to February, May to June, September to October. So you can decide whichever date you want and you can write the exams. As I've said earlier, you can write the exams anywhere, I mean, anytime. You can write in India or you can write outside India. In India, in Chennai, you can go ahead and take up the Prometic centers. Remember, all you have to remember is 2 exams only. The good news is you can write part 2 first or you can write part 1 first. The choice is yours. So there is no sequential order. Whichever subject you're comfortable with, you can go ahead and write the exams. Quickly, I will repeat, students. CMA has only 2 exams. Part 1, financial planning, performance and analytics. It's a 4-hour online exam, 100 MCQs and 2 essay questions only. Part 2, which is called as strategic financial management. It's a 4-hour online exam, 100 MCQs and 2 essay questions only. 3 testing windows available for you: January, February, May, June, September, October. Now, the way we planned is there is a little correction over here, students. Don't go with what I have written, it's my bad. The way we are going to cover, you can make a note of it. The way we are going to cover it is from semester 1 to semester 4, we are going to cover the entire CMA curriculum. So we will closely work with the Department of Commerce. We will take the permission of Gayatri ma'am and the other ma'ams. We will have a weekly classes for 4 hours. Example, Monday 2 hours, Wednesday 2 hours. It's just an example. We are not disturbing your regular studies. Keep that one thing in mind, okay? Because we want you to focus on completing your BCom. So we are not going to disturb your regular studies. That's the reason. Don't go with the slide. It is semester 1 to semester 4. The entire training is completed. Semester 5, when you're in semester 5, as the training is completed, you can write the 2 CMA exams. I repeat, CMA has only 2 exams. Now you can focus on writing the 2 CMA exams at semester 5. Semester 6, a good news for you, you're ready for the job. Because typically, I started my presentation saying that a lot of multinational companies, they come for placements at semester 6. Now, when you sit for an interview, Well, you can proudly say that, you know what, I have a degree from Ethiraj College. Along with that, I also have an international recognized qualification, which is called as USCMA. Just 5 seconds, think about it. Would you not get a job because you have a dual qualification? You have an Indian qualification from Madras University, that's your BCom degree from Ethiraj College. You also have a globally recognized qualification, which is your USCMA. That is the beauty about this qualification. From semester 1 to semester 4, we are trying to upskill you. Semester 5, you're writing the 2 CMA exams. Semester 6, you are ready for the job. Think about it, students. Well, apart from that, why do you need to choose Miles? A lot of reasons. We take care of the entire training delivery. Yes, we closely work with the department for feedback. If the faculties are not good, we try to replace those faculties, but make sure that we give the best faculty members to Ethiraj College. So the entire training delivery is being taken care by Miles Education for the CMA papers. You would also get your IMA approved study materials. Those are the books, those are the very fat books from IMA. You also get your online test bank. Online test bank is a tool. You can log in and you can practice questions. Apart from that, you get the recorded videos of Mr. Varun Jain. Now, Mr. Varun Jain is the CEO of Miles Education, but he's also a CPA and a CMA instructor. So you get his videos. You get your Miles notebooks. Now, these are the notebooks which will make you understand the concepts and memorize it. So you get IMA books, you get Miles books, you get online video access, you get the online test bank access. So these are the various accesses, materials you would receive when you take up this program. Apart from that, we are going to support you in terms of how you should apply for the exams and how you can write the exams. And as I've said earlier, placement assistance, definitely if you're able to pass the 2 CMA exams, Miles is going to help you for the placements. Now, this is the example how the books looks like. These are the IMA approved study material for part 1 and part 2. Now, you also get the videos. You can right now after the session, you can just go to YouTube, click on CMA Miles Education. You will get some few hours of recorded videos of Mr. Varun Jain. That's not full. Only few hours is there. You can just go and watch how he's teaching the students. Now coming to the cost of the program, the overall cost of the entire program is 80,000 rupees. Now this is the training and the study material cost, which can be paid in 2 installments. When I say 2 installments, year 1, semester 1, you can pay 39,000. Year 2 or semester 3, you can pay 41,000. So that's the overall cost. Again, I'll repeat the cost. What we are talking about, 80,000 rupees. This is your training cost. When I say training, the faculty members, that's the faculty member what you get the IMA approved study materials, you get the online test bank access, you get the Miles videos, you get the Miles notebooks, you get the support from Miles in terms of how to apply for the exam and how to get your certificate. So that's the overall cost, 80,000, which can be paid in 2 installments. But if you do a comparison, you know why we come to the college, why we request the management to do this program, because there is a lot of difference when you go outside the college. You can go outside and do this college from a retail batch. We have retail classes. You can go and join that, but the cost over there is 1,18,000 rupees. You see the difference? If you're going outside and doing the program, the cost is 1,18,000 rupees. Now, this is only the training and the study material. There's a examination fee and the membership, which I'm going to tell you later. But only for the material cost, only for the training cost, if you're going outside Ethiraj College, then the cost is 1,18,000 rupees. If you're coming through Ethiraj College, then it is 80,000 rupees, which means typically you're saving close to 38,860 rupees. That's the ballpark number savings what you're doing if you choose to take up this program when you are a student. When you're outside Ethiraj College, I'm telling you again, students, the price is not going to be the same. It is a bit costly. I hope I was very clear with the pricing part. 80,000 is the cost, which can be paid in two installments. 39,000 semester one. And remember, when I say semester one, you're paying now. Exactly after 1 year, you will pay the balance amount of 41,000. Now, there is a cost for you to become a member of IMA. It is very important that you should be an IMA member. And the cost is $100, which is going to be valid for 3 years. That you can pay it in semester one. Now, the examination cost for two exams is $400. Now, this you're paying when you're ready for the exam. Maybe if you're writing the exam in semester five, that is the time you need to pay $400. If you're writing the exam in semester six, that is the time you pay $400. But remember, whenever you're ready for the exam, that is the time you pay this $400. So the IMA membership cost is $100, which is valid for 3 years. And then the examination cost for two exams is $400. Another good news, students, is as we have an MOU signed up with Ethiraj College, IMA would give up to 10 scholarship. Now that is the discretion of the management, but up to 10 students from Ethiraj College can get IMA scholarship. And when I say IMA scholarship, whoever gets selected will not pay the examination fee. I hope I'm very clear. Now that list has not been decided by us. That list has been decided by the college, the discretion of the college. But up to 10 students will get the benefit of being a IMA, I mean, for getting the IMA scholarship. And when I say IMA scholarship, again, I'm saying whoever gets selected, those up to 10 students, they don't pay the examination cost, which is $400. So it's a good savings for you. Well, this is my last slide. I told you we have our retail classes also. Today, we are there in 9 cities. We have an office in Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi. Chennai, I want to talk about Chennai because we have an office in Chennai. I will introduce you to Magesh. Magesh is the regional manager for Tamil Nadu, and he's going to be the account manager. So if you have any questions, yes, you can go to the department, but Magesh will be there. He's going to help you in terms of, yeah, Magesh, if you can just quickly come on to the camera. Magesh, if you can just quickly switch on your camera. So that's Magesh. Magesh is the regional manager for Tamil Nadu. If you have any questions regarding the books, regarding the online access, or any issues, any issues pertaining to anything, you can reach out to Magesh. He's there in Chennai, and he's going to support you all. So with that, I come to the end of the presentation. But before I come to the end of the presentation, I think I would like to introduce the two bright students of Ethiraj College. Who have taken up the CMA qualification and who has completed the program. So Chetna, if you're listening to me, you can take it up, and then from there we can take up the question and answers.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. It's a great pleasure to introduce our alumna, Ms. Chetna Rao. She graduated from Ethiraj College for Women in the year 2017. She was the first to complete the USCMA certification from the college and clear the exams in the first attempt in just a short span of 6 months. She was an audit manager in an audit firm in Chennai. She is currently looking to pursue the USCPA certification and is exploring opportunities in the finance industry. She subscribes to the ideology that we must be the change we want to see. Ms. Chetna is also an amateur pastry chef and an artist. She loves how a blank canvas provides a world of possibilities, and every blush stroke is a small surprise. In her free time, you can find her binge reading mystery novels and doodling. We welcome you, Ms. Chetna. Over to you.
Hi everyone. So I'm here to talk about my CMA journey. I'll be talking to you all a little bit about my CMA journey. I hope I'm audible and everyone can hear me. Not really sure. Yes. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead, assuming that's a yes. So I got to know about CMA when I was in my third year, and that's when my first came to our college, and they were talking to us about CMA and everything. And I immediately perked up, and I thought this course was interesting because, well, I like numbers and analysis. That was the sort of thing I wanted to do. And I figured, in the past few years, like my first year and second year, that I had a flair for it too. And that's why the other courses did not interest me much, like CA or CS or something like that. More than theory, I was into numbers. And when I heard about CMA, I found the subjects interesting, like costing, financial management. All these things were something that I wanted to do in the future, like pursue be in this line. And I found the subjects interesting. And also another thing which really pulled me towards this was the fact that I could complete it in a very short time. And I wanted to finish CMA by the time I graduated. And I got to know about this in my final year of college. So when I found out information and everything, I figured like, okay, this is something that I could do. Of course, before you take up anything, you guys have to do your research. You have to make sure that you know everything that you can possibly know about the course and then make a choice about a course, because once you get into it, it's a little difficult, take a step back. So any course, whatever it might be, whether it's a CMA or any other professional course, I would tell you guys to go do your background check, maybe talk to people who have done this course, get as much information as you can, and then make your choice. So I did all of that, and as I said, the main thing, the subjects, it's very important that you are interested in it to a certain degree at least. You need not say, hey, this is my passion, this is what I want to do in my whole life. I'm sure nobody can tell that, not when you're like 17, 18, not in your first year of college. I mean, I still don't know to some extent, but then as you pursue something and you find out more, that's when you would know, right? Like you're interested in a particular line. So having an interest towards this is important to a certain degree, and also the confidence that you'll be able to face an exam like this and do it. I know it might be daunting for a lot of you to hear that, hey, you need minimum 72% to pass. 360 out of 500 is not a joke. But then you should just keep all of that aside for a minute and just think about your ability, whether you can do something like this or not. I'm sure you would know, by the time when you're learning all of these things. That's what I told myself when I was studying for this actually. So third year is pretty hectic, right? Like I had a lot of things going on at that time. So final year I did become honors. So I had an internship, I had the final year project, and I was part of the culturals. I used to do all those things. I used to participate in culturals and everything. I never stopped myself from doing any of that. And apart from all of this, I had my CMA coaching. So we used to have classes before or after college sometimes. So I was in evening college, so 11:30 it starts. So I used to come early by like 8:30 or 9 o'clock. We used to have classes for a couple of hours before, sometimes weekend classes. That's how it used to be at that time. I'm sure, as Michael just said, like it seems like a lot of those things have been changed now, which is much better. It's much more structured, and everything is in place. At that time, because it was the first year, it was new for everybody. We were struggling a bit to find the proper rhythm and schedule to like get through of it. But then we managed. I had classes for about like 6 months maybe overall if you take it up, and yeah, I wanted to finish my exams right after my college exams. So in April 2017, final semester exams were done, and the next immediate testing window which was available for me was the May-June window. So I had planned that I would take one exam at the end of May and another exam at the end of June, and that's how I kept in mind my preparation too. Like once I decided which paper I take up with, you can take the papers in any order based on your comfort level with each of the subjects, and how well you're able to, how well you can like deal with each of those topics in the subjects. That's up to you. I'm sure he had already mentioned that. So I decided to go part one, part two, and yeah, I was able to do that. I finished everything in my first attempt, and this was easy for me because By the time I was in third year, right, I had covered a lot of these topics, at least the base. With the college subjects itself, like you have repetition in costing, in financial management, management accounts, all these whatever you study as part of your UG degree, in your BCom or BCom honors, a lot of these things would be coming in your CMA, and these are mainly like the exams are mainly concept oriented, and you don't have to worry much about it being different, US being different from India, because we're not learning about any regulation or taxation stuff much in CMA. Of course, there's one part which is financial reporting, and that's a small part. I mean, you will be able to learn the difference and everything, but apart from that, most of it is the same as India. So it is pretty easy to prepare taking your UG education as a base. So I found that really useful. I found that to be very helpful for me, because as I was doing this, it was like a revision. Of course, CMA is on a higher level. It's definitely on a higher level. But when you have a base settled, it's very easy to like learn something at a higher level too, and be able to ace exams like this. And yeah, like I was saying, the main thing was the time, the fact that I could finish it off in like 6 months, and only two papers, and the fact that there's no negative marking. I'm sure that's a huge relief for a lot of people, that there's no negative marking. That itself, it creates this positive thinking in our mind, saying, okay, it is fine, there's no negative marking. And the MCQs in the case studies, the test banks are very useful. I would say you have to practice quite a bit. Mainly because this is a very, very different kind of exam. Like the exam pattern itself, it's not something that we're used to. So practicing is important. And I learned that kind of late, I would say. So I would tell you guys not to make that mistake. So if you are taking it up, right, I would say, right, when you start the classes, maybe try doing your practice questions and test bank stuff pretty soon, maybe within a month or so. I would say, guys, just have a look at it just to see how it works, right? 'Cause you need to get yourself familiarized with the pattern and everything. So I'm not going to equivocate. I'm giving it to you straight. You kind of need to do all of these things to make sure that you are in a comfortable position later on to take up the exams. It's not easy. I would not say it is easy, because nothing is like, obviously, professional courses like this, they have a standard, and nothing very easy has that standard. But at the same time, I wouldn't say this is something extremely difficult or impossible to achieve, because it's not. It just requires a little bit of effort, from your part. You should have your mindset set to this. You should tell yourself that, hey, okay, I've decided I'm going to do this. So let me put in efforts, whatever I have to do towards this. You have to take that step. You have to take those efforts into it. And it's not really that difficult. And like I was saying, those test banks, those help me prepare really well. You can take all sorts of permutations and combinations in the questions from the different topics. It's all pretty easy, once you start doing it. I would suggest that you really have to like take those practice questions and everything. And other than that, like I said, if you do have a certain degree of interest towards the subject, then it's pretty easy for you, because you would want to learn more. You would want to make sure that you get more information and all those things, because you want to make a career out of it, right? This was my thinking when I was preparing, actually, and that sort of a thing can help you go a long way. Even though, again, I'm saying, thinking about those marks, right, getting 360 out of 500, it is pretty scary when you think about things that way. But I would suggest that you guys don't do that, because you shouldn't have a block. You shouldn't have a mental block. You should try to remove that hindrance from your mind. You just, if you really want to do this, that is, or anything else for that matter, any other professional course, or anything else, there are so many opportunities. There are so many things. I wouldn't want you guys to like blindly go into anything. You have to explore. You still have time. You can explore. You can make your choice. And I think this session today is like a pretty informative session about CMA. You must have got a lot of info. So do this, and if you really like it, if you guys feel like some of these subjects, they resonate with what you want to do later on in life, then go ahead. I, it's a very good course to do that. And it's not like you have to stop with this, right? You can always do more. Like right now, I'm planning on pursuing CPA as well, because the CMA CPA combination is a pretty good combination, and both going the US route, instead of going like to some other international degree. So that's what I'm planning to do. I worked for a year as knowledge manager, and I learned quite a bit. So after working, so once you do your professional course, any professional course that is, you know a little more about what you can expect from your job or what sort of career you'd like to have. And then when you start working, you know more, especially in the initial years about where your interests lie and what you want to do for the rest of your life, maybe. So you guys, I think you should do your exploring, and then if you do find this interesting, then you guys should like totally go ahead and plan for it. And you guys can definitely do it. It's not impossible. So good luck to you all. That's what I would say. And there's a Walt Disney quote that I really like. All our dreams will come true if we have the courage to pursue them. This is true in any aspect of your life. You can apply this in any aspect of your life. So this is something I'd like to tell myself, and maybe this would give an idea for you guys too.
It was wonderful, Chetna. It was a very casual and inspiring talk. I hope most of our students are inspired by your talk and they will take up, the USCMA certification. Now let's move on to the Q&A section. Either of you can take up the question and answer them. The first question, please. What is the difference between CA and CMA?
I'll take up that question.
Yeah, Mr. Bhatt.
I think, first of all, it's a good question. CA, if you want to look into a field of public accounting, that's chartered accountant. Okay. CMA is if you're looking for a field of management accounting, that is CMA. Okay. Now in India, if you look at what are the options for CA, in India, we call it the highest accounting qualification, which is CA, the best and the highest accounting qualification. All right. Similarly, there's an ACCA that's equivalent to UK, and then there's a CPA which is equivalent to CA in India. But remember, let's not do any comparison between CA versus CMA. CA is the highest accounting qualification in India. Today, I don't have that privilege of comparing CA with CMA because public accounting is CA. If you want to get into a field of management accounting, then I would request you to take up CMA. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. The next question, please. Kindly elaborate on how CMA teaches IT skills.
Yeah, that is a good question, and that is the reason there's only one paper which we talk about technology and analytics. Every year, every 5 years, what CMA does, what the IMA people do is they conduct a survey with all of the good companies to understand what is the need for the hour. And this, when they have done it, they understood that most of the industry, most of the multinational companies, they need some kind of skills required in analytical field. And that is the only reason from CMA curriculum of 2020. I don't know whether Chetna would have studied the curriculum of 2020 analytics. Chetna, did you study that?
No, I didn't. It was the old one back then.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Chetna has not studied, but Chetna, I'll give you some books. You can go through that. But the good news for you, student, is that in this CMA, when we talk about IT skills, here we are talking more about analytical mindset. And when I specifically talk about analytical mindset, it is data analytics, data visualization. So these are the types of skills which we are going to teach you in analytics. Remember two things only: data analytics, data visualization. When I talk about data analytics, it's all about 4 types of analytics. And then visualization is all about storytelling. It's all about how do you project the data. So that is the skills what we are going to teach you along with accounts and finance. I hope that answers the question.
Next question, please. In which countries is the USCMA recognized?
In more than 150 different countries, starting with US, Dubai, Malaysia, Singapore. Go to the IMA website. Whoever asked this question, it's a very good question. I would request you go to the IMA website. You would see the list of the countries which are being recognized by IMA. But to name few, uh, that's what I mean. The high impact is US, then Middle East, Singapore, Malaysia, Brazil. I can keep naming those names, but yes, the list is available. You can please visit the IMA website.
We'll move on to the next question. Is USCMA hard for students?
I think Chetna is the best example. I think she spent 15 minutes talking to you about her own experience. Chetna, you can take up this question.
Yes, yes. So is it hard? So the word hard itself, it's relative. Okay, it is subjective. It's different for each individual. So when you say hard, like what are you talking about? Are you talking about hard in the sense that hey, it looks like we have a very high cutoff mark to pass? 72% seems huge. Is it hard that way, or subjects wise? Okay, so I'll tell about both. Like first, I did talk about the cutoff being 72% to pass. So that you kind of have to remove that from your mind. Okay, this is not your college exams or anything of that sort. I think we've made that clear. Anything which is very easy, uh, well, when something is hard, it's going to have more value for a lot of things. I wouldn't generalize, but for a lot of things, it is like that. So keep that 72% out of your head. You don't have to think about it. Coming to the subjects as such, right? Like I mentioned before, for BCom students or BCom honor students, most of it you would be learning as part of your college curriculum itself. A base is already established, and what you learn for USCMA, it's a professional course, so definitely it's on a higher level, but it's not impossible. That's what I'd say. This is more concept oriented, right? That's what they test. They test your understanding, how well you know each of the concepts in these. So part one has like five different topics mainly covered, like broadly if you're looking at it, and part two has six different sections. All of these revolve around costing, management accounting, and financial management. So when you take up all of this together, and you have to look at the, it's again concepts. I would be saying the same thing again. They would be testing you only on your concepts, and if you do your practice tests and everything, and if you're able to like have a proper schedule to study and all, it's not hard. But you definitely have to do the practice test to understand the pattern, how it would be, because this is new. We're not used to this kind of pattern. US exams have a different sort of pattern. When you do those practice tests and everything, you'll get used to all of that, and especially time management is very important. We are not exposed, we do not have exposure to writing a 4-hour exam as such, and sitting for 4 hours in one place itself is difficult. Let me tell you that you get very restless. If you want to go to the restroom, you have to use up your exam time. All of that is there. In the exam center, they won't let you take in your water bottle. You can't have anything in your hand. They will give you the paper for your calculations or whatever. Of course, the calculator is there on the screen, but for your own notes and paper, pencil, everything they'll give you. You can't take anything. They test with like the metal detector test and everything. You go through all of that. That's how you get into the exam center. And sitting for one place in for 4 hours, that is difficult. That is why you have to sit and do these tests as well to get used to that, to make sure that you're able to manage your time well. So this is what I think when you say hard, right? Is it the pass percentage because of that, or the paper as such, what you study, and sitting for the exam? I feel I've answered questions for this. So overall, I would say it's not that hard, because once you get used to anything, it really isn't.
So
I want to elaborate here. Sorry, ma'am. I want to elaborate here.
no issues.
Chetna, students, when you said about is it hard, I think Chetna made those 3 points. One is concepts, second one is practice, and the third one is time. When I talk about concepts, students, if I ask you the same question, is MCQ easy or hard? I will get a balanced answer. Few of them would say easy, and few of them would say hard. But honestly, if you ask me the answer also, is MCQs easy? It's about the conceptual understanding, students. Because in MCQs, There is a question and there are four answers given to you, which means the answer is already there on the screen. If your concepts are very strong, then you know what is the right answer. And that's what Chetna was talking about. And Miles Education, we are going to help you to make sure that you get the very clear concepts understanding. That's about concepts. Second thing is, how would you get your concepts clearly? By practicing, practicing, and practicing. Because there is a wonderful tool which is given to you, online test bank tool. You just need to log into the tool and keep practicing. And the third point, what Chetna has said, is time. Well, yes, you need to dedicate yourself. I mean, why did Chetna come out of the CMA at the very first attempt? Because she has dedicated her time to her BCom. Along with BCom, she has also dedicated her time for CMA. So I would request, if you want to take up this program, A, you have to be serious. B, you need to dedicate yourself. Sorry, no Facebook, no social distancing, just to study a lot. That's how you should. Then it is not hard. So then your CMA, then the question would be CMA is easy for all the students. Thanks, ma'am. I
I'd
think
like
you
to
can
add
move
in
on.
just one more
Yeah,
point.
go on,
When
go on.
Mr. Wagner said, "Are MCQs easy or hard?" If someone comes up with a question like that, this sort of struck me at that point. So let me tell you one thing: when you have MCQs, most people might think it's easier, but it's actually not, because more than one answer looks like it's applicable at that point. So but this sort of thing, this is why I said, when you actually go through the test bank and all of that, and when you practice, you would know, because it will tell you what the right answer is with the explanation as well. So there's minute nuances in the concepts you'll be able to understand when you sit and go through your test bank, and that sort of thing is important. That sort of thing is important, especially for MCQs, because they confuse you more than give a clear path to an answer.
Very true, Ms. Chetna. And that was a very practical answer. And social distancing is a new norm. Girls, please note it down. The next question, please. Even after finishing the graduation, can we do the USCMA in miles? Is there fee concession given or retail fees?
It would be the retail fees. And why do you want to do it after graduation when the management is allowing you to do your BCom along with CMA? But I'm sorry to say that at that point of time there would not be any fees concession. Whatever I said, the retail fee, that is the amount you need to pay and join in. But if you are very aspirant, you can take up both the exams. I mean, you can do your BCom, along with the BCom you can do your CMA.
That's a fact to ponder upon, Mr. Wagner. The next question: how attempts are counted in CMA, and is CA is better than CMA?
Again, I don't know who's asking these questions. Both are
The students,
separate
sir.
both are professional qualifications. We cannot compare CMA with CA. I can't say CA is better. I cannot say CMA is better. Both has their own value. Both has their importance. Both has their credibility in the market. Again, I'm saying, student, if you want to make up your mind to get into a public accounting domain, then you should take up CA. If you want to get into a domain of management accounting, then CMA is a good option for you. And talking about the attempts, if your question is how many attempts are allowed for you to write the exams, it is there is no caveat, there is no limitation over here. But every time when you fail any one of the exams, you need to pay for that particular exam and write the exams. So there is no limitation, but for all of that things, we would request you to go first for a mock exam. If you're taking up CMA, you have to go for a mock exam. That mock exam will give you a reality check in terms of how much knowledge you have about CMA. Maybe that time you can make a decision that you want to write the exams or you want to do more revision. Again, I'm not here to do a comparison between CA and CMA. Both are good.
Okay.
Also, I'd just like to tell one thing to the students who are like asking the questions, right? So when you ask a question like, is CA better than CMA? This is very broad. There are a lot of aspects in this, because as Mr. Wagner pointed out, these are different accounting qualifications, right? The focus of each of these qualifications are different. So if you want to ask something very specific, like is CA more valid than CMA in India, or is CA more useful for auditing than CMA? If you're asking very specific questions, it'll be easier for us to give you better answers. Otherwise, it's difficult to make a comparison between two very distinct professional courses.
Well said, Chetna. That's true. The next question. After finishing the exam, will we be given placements?
Definitely, yes. We would request you to please, when you talk about placements, remember job assistance. Our job is to take your resume and place in the companies where they are looking for CMA. You need to crack the interview. If you're able, so don't be dependent that either college or Miles will help you to crack the interview. There is no backdoor entry. Yes, you pass your two CMA exams, Miles will help you for job placements.
Can we take CMA from the second year?
Uh, you can take it from second year, you can take it from third year, no problem on that. But the only thing is, this qualification, if you're taking it from semester 1 to semester 4, the entire training would be completed, which means that from third year, that is your semester 5, you can write the two CMA exams and you are job ready. At the end of the day, it is your choice. But if it is an option is given to you to take it from semester 1, why don't you go and take that as an opportunity?
So that was the last question. Thank you so much for that session, Mr. Wagner and Ms. Chetna. It was indeed a pleasure. So we have come to the end of our orientation program. Okay, girls. So I hope you got inspired by the session, and we expect more of you girls to take up the USCMA program. So if you need any details, you can contact Ms. Shruti R of Commerce Department Self Supporting, and we have put in her number over here so that you can note it down and have an inquiry. Thank you, girls. Have a good day.